Sue.
Hi, Louis. Bit of a technical hitch there.
Oh, well, we're here now. We're here now. How are you?
I was worried I nearly burnt my wings trying to sort it out.
Don't worry, I've got a couple of crispy ones in the corner of my barbecue as but
they're the best ones, all the knobbly bits, all the gnarly bits.
Exactly. You know, they might not make the Instagram post, but they're going to make elsewhere.
Chef's perks, those ones.
And then also too, I've got a bit of a spatchcock chicken going here, so that's going to happen.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks really good.
Oh, can't wait to talk about that one. So yeah. So how are you? And where are you from? And tell us a little bit about yourself, Sue.
Okay, so I'm Sue. I'm from Exmouth in Devon.
Yeah.
Been barbecuing for about 5 years now, and obviously love my Kamado Joes, and known more perhaps as the baker rather than a griller, but I'll cook anything and everything. Often got my tongs in one hand, a drink in another, and my barbecue slippers, for those who are watching, they are on. So yeah, I got my fingers in lots of pies. Where I work, we sell barbecues, and we got the Cadai fire pits and the hot hats range and other bits and pieces. And yeah, so obviously you're not in the shop every day at the moment because of COVID, but our web shop is still open.
Okay.
But
what's the URL for your web shop?
It's bigfire.co.uk.
Bigfire.co.uk. Nice.
And yeah, we sell some nice local charcoal that's made 2 miles up the road from us.
Okay.
Which, you know, is obviously charcoal. You want to source a good charcoal, don't you, when you're cooking nice, good quality meat?
Definitely.
It's like, you know, nice wine. You don't cook with wine you're not going to drink, so you want a nice charcoal.
Good point. Is there any particular flavours or anything that come down from your way of charcoal? You got the
I think it's mainly sort of ash and probably some mixed varieties.
Okay. Bit of apple, bit of juniper at all?
I've not actually tried juniper. I didn't know you could even get juniper wood.
I don't know. Maybe it's wood chips, but someone was cooking up the other week. What were they cooking that had juniper in it? Juniper chips. Oh, it'll come to me in a minute. And yeah.
Juniper to me, and I think of gin and venison casserole.
Indeed. So, all right. So, it's your hobby then, barbecue. You know.
It is really my hobby. Yeah, what first got me into outdoor cooking was I went on a build and bake day at River Cottage.
Okay. Wow.
And learned how to build a pizza oven out of clay. We actually went down to the lake and dug the clay out, and so group of us, this is about 7 years ago, built a pizza oven using the clay and sand and straw, and then we spent the other half of the day in the cookery school making bread, and then cooked pizzas in their pizza oven at the end of the day. And I came home with a book of words, and I'd been there with my eldest son, and we said, "Oh, Mum, we've got to build one." But it took me about 2 years to actually get a plinth built, and then 3 weeks to build my pizza oven, and then just fell into outdoor cooking more. And where I worked, we used to sell the Kamado Joes, and bought one like you do, and didn't really know what I could do on it until I got on and started peddling. And I am more known as a home cook. I do have a title behind me, the Southwest Home Cook of the Year. And I just wanted to cook what I cook in my kitchen outside, and actually show people that if you've got a barbecue, any barbecue with a lid, you can cook anything on it.
It's good fun, isn't it? Yeah. Oh wow. So Southwest barbecue outdoor cook of the year.
Southwest Home Cook of the Year.
Home cook.
Competition headed up by Michael Keynes, who's he's got MBE. He's got a hotel restaurant nearby. He fronts up the competition.
Nice. Did you have a signature dish that you whipped up there that
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, you were given the main ingredient to use, so it could have been pork tenderloin or whole chicken or sea bass, and you had to create a dish from that and pair it with as much local produce as you can, and then the dessert was normally sort of mixed berries or that, so you had to create your pudding as well, and then you had 2 hours to cook it at a local cookery school.
Wow.
And it was judged by other local sort of top chefs from the area.
Yeah.
And then winning that, it then got me to do a few food and drink demos at festivals.
Yeah.
And I now also write for a blog called Dining Devon. And when we could, we would go and visit local cafes and restaurants and review them. And I do a few recipes for the blog. Also write for the UKBBQ magazine. So I've got lots to keep me busy.
Wow. Barbecue is really, it's more than a hobby then.
It's my happy place. I don't know if you can see my my little shelter. It's nothing grand, but I've got a classic Kamado Joe classic and a little junior behind.
Yeah.
And then over, that's my little prep area.
Wow.
So I've got a Thuros tabletop barbecue there, and then I've got a little smoker as well, Thuros smoker. If I pan around my garden, if you want to see, I've got my pizza oven. You can just about see that. It's covered up at the minute.
Wow.
And then I've got a little fire pit, cat-eye fire pit. So yeah, so at least now I've got my shelter. I can cook in all weathers.
This is genius. I love it. I still want to come down and hang out.
Always welcome.
So if you're down in Devon Way, then would that mean also a bit of seafood down there as well?
Plenty of seafood, yes. Some really good fishmongers down here.
Yeah.
We try and eat fish once a week.
Okay.
We don't always, but barbecuing fish is really quick to do on the barbecue, and I like it when you get the crispy skin.
Yep. Just a quick flip there. What sort of fish do you get down there, and what's your favourite?
Oh, mussels. Obviously, we've got Exmouth mussels, which are just down the road, 2 miles away.
Yeah.
Sea bass, we get a lot of freshly scallops. Monkfish I've done, and red gurnard is a favourite, I think, as well.
Gurnard, okay. I don't know what gurnard looks like. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look it up. Did you get any of those sole down there, like the Dover soles, or are they?
A lot of lemon sole, I think.
Okay.
But I tend to go for mussels and sea bass, really.
Mussels and sea bass. Well, that's a pretty good. A pretty good lineup. What about oysters down that way? Because we've got. Or are they a little bit further round? I know Katie, the oyster lady, she gets her oysters round at Newquay there, and
yeah, that's a bit further away.
Okay.
They're not my favourite. They're not my favourite oysters. It's a bit like Marmite. You like them or you hate them.
Mm.
Have you had oysters?
Oh yeah. I love oysters. I mean, I'm originally Australian, but I grew up in the countryside, but they're not near the sea. But once I got to the sea and discovered the oysters, wow, they're lovely. So I like them raw, fine. Certain oysters, not too big. They're not so much fun. You got to chomp them. I'm not such a fan. But when they're bigger, they're great for barbecuing. So then you can add like all sorts of magic toppings. And
nice breadcrumbs on the top, or chili and.
Oh,
I'll tell you what goes nice with seafood is Tarquin's pastis, which is a bit like a aniseed-y spirits. That goes really well with seafood.
Okay, okay.
It's one to try.
I'm gonna keep my eyes open for that one. That sounds interesting. Yeah, yeah.
So do you want to see my chicken wings then that I've cooked?
Definitely, most definitely. Tell us how you cooked them and give us the story on them.
Okay, so we've got some, as well as some really good fishmongers down here, we've got some really good butchers. So I tend to get my meat from the butchers at Darts Farm, which is about 6 miles away. So, and the chicken wings are Creedy Carver chicken wings. And I tell you what, these ones are really meaty. They don't have the little wingy bits on the end either. So they are just the big bits of the wing, if you know what I mean.
None of the tips.
Yeah, chips you call them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so they don't have any meat on. They're good for stock, good for saving and
Yeah.
put in a stock pot. So I did 3 sorts of wings.
Yeah.
And as I'm now a brand ambassador for Angus and Oink,
Ooh.
I've done 3 different flavors. So I've done feather duster.
Nice. What's the feather duster all about? Give us a bit of a profile.
Okay, so obviously great for any feathered birds.
So why I didn't get that, I don't know.
And it's got a little bit of sweetness and just a little bit of heat. So
okay, yeah.
there we go. These ones are garlic butter.
Hold them up to the camera a little bit more. Everybody's dying. Up a little. Oh.
So garlic butter, but this is great sprinkled on your potatoes or again on anything. And then I've done some. This is one of my favourite rubs, which is one of the first ones I bought about 3 years ago. Tandoori Tikka Gold. So obviously a nice bit of paprika and it gives a nice colour. And I did some kebabs actually last night with my flatbreads. So that's those. And then to go with it, I saw your nice little crudity platter you have down on your table.
Yes.
I obviously we didn't talk about what we were cooking, did we?
No.
I've got some nice vegetables cut up.
Yeah.
And because with wings, some people don't like them sauced, some people like them plain.
Yeah.
So if you wanted a glaze, you could put maple syrup on, or I've actually got my own homemade barbecue sauce.
Okay, yeah.
And I've made up, it's called Mcdaddy Sauce. So again, you know, I could spend hours making my own rubs, but it's quite easy just to pull one out your cupboard, isn't it?
Exactly.
So this is Mcdaddy Sauce. Again by Angus and Oink. So you mix some in with some mayonnaise, and that is obviously very similar to that orangey colour sauce that you'd get if you had a burger from the Golden Arches place.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's that. And this one here is a ranch dressing.
Ooh.
So that makes a nice sort of raita. So you could mix that with some cucumber.
Yeah.
And that's one of their prototype rubs. So if you've got something spicy, you could dip that in. And I've mixed that with some natural yogurt.
Oh, that's going to be delicious. Oh.
So coriander and mint and delicious.
Wow.
So I'm going to have a little feast later.
Will you be watching the rugby at all then?
I might just listen to it. I'm not a keen rugby. Obviously, where we are down here in Devon, we've got the Chiefs, Exeter Chiefs, who are quite well known and very successful. I know a lot of them play for England, so I'm not sure when or who's playing today. Bath, somebody, is it?
Oh, no. Well, today's the Six Nations, so on at the moment is France versus Italy. So they're playing, and then a little bit later in the day will be England versus Scotland, or actually,
Okay,
that's
yeah. So
saying.
some of our chiefs are playing for England.
Okay. Or, as I like to say, Eddie Jones versus Scotland. How's that?
Okay.
But oh wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, no, I did some of my wings with you'll be excited to hear the old Angus and Oink Brutal.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
This ages ago, I'm like, this is gold. This stuff. Yeah.
I know you always go for your favourites or what's in the cupboard. And there's lots of good rubs out there.
And I'm going to have the old Brutal, and I've made a bit of the Alabama white sauce with it as well. So,
Lovely.
cut with the sort of spice and everything on it. So,
Yeah, because barbecues can be quite healthy. So if you make your dips and that, if you mix them with yogurt, they're quite healthy.
or if you go the other way and you make another dip with blue cheese and sour cream, then,
Not so.
balance out the health factor there, As a barbecue fan, then what's one of your favourite things to cook on a barbecue?
My favourite things would have to be my chocolate brownies.
Really?
See, I go dessert. Yeah. So while I'm cooking pork shoulder or something, the way the Kamado Joes are built and set up, you can have your pork on one side, and there's plenty of room to stick a pudding or a cake or some bread in there.
Oh.
So you can do a whole meal all at once.
Wow.
So I will make use of the space and heat. So when I've finished doing all my wings, I've got a nice bit of slow roasting bit of top side of beef to go on, which is going to be tomorrow's dinner.
Wow, that is sensational. That is, and it just shows you can cook absolutely everything.
You can. So once you've got a barbecue with a lid, you can cook anything. You just need to learn to control the temperature.
Yeah.
Because that's quite a big beast you've got behind you there.
Yes, yeah. And it's all sort of digital magic sort of stuff. You just type it in and off it goes type thing. But I haven't tried any desserts on it. I think maybe I should probably clean it a little bit more before I do that. I think otherwise it's going to start tasting like chicken. I think
It doesn't, as long as you bake it in the dish and the smells don't intermingle.
Oh,
So
okay.
there you are, a little challenge for you.
Oh, go one day then. That sounds really good. So, in that case, what sort of tips and hints have you got for any of the barbecue folk out there watching for us today?
If you're gonna cook cakes and your Kamado Joe, so my little tip is to stop the bottom burning. And of course, you never want a soggy bottom in your cake or your pies.
At all.
So I would cook normally indirect when I'm doing any baking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you can quite see this. It's so bright, the sun. I can't quite see you. So I would normally cook indirect. So the deflector plate's in and the grill's on the top setting. And then I would upturn an old baking tin.
Yeah.
And put that on top of the grill. And then I would put my cake on the top. And you can use your own tins that you've got in the kitchen. And the terracotta dishes work well, and your ceramic dishes.
Yeah.
And then you need to cook it about 20 degrees lower than what the recipe says, because the heat's still coming from underneath, and your dome temperature is normally lower than your grill temperature.
Okay.
So because the heat is coming from underneath, your grill temperature that's where it's going to be its hottest. Okay. And the very first time I cooked a loaf of bread, it burnt the bottom. So I had to devise a way to not get a burnt bottom, and that was my solution. And it works all the time.
Nice.
And when you're cooking another little tip, you can't hurry a barbecue.
Yeah.
The food is cooked when it's done, and so if you just plan everything, prep everything before, bring your food outside, cook it, you'll enjoy your cook more, and be able to spend more time with your family and friends when you can invite them round, and be relaxed about cooking. You don't want to be cooking to pressure.
A good thought. I've sort of always discovered just start a little bit earlier than what you think you should,
Definitely, yeah. Because like today, there's no wind. It's cold, but no wind. So took a little while longer for mine to heat up.
Well, yes, yeah. There's so many different factors in it all, isn't there?
Yeah.
The wind tends to be the killer, doesn't it? It's like, particularly if you're cooking on something that has a flame or charcoal, etc. The wind tends to be. Also, too, it makes it just a little bit more,
A bit more exciting. Yeah. And you have to watch your eyebrows, obviously, when you're doing a piece of Côte de Boeuf, which I had a scare with once.
I lost mine ages ago.
Oh.
So yeah, no, I was using a chimney starter the other week.
Right.
For whatever reason, and here's a hint for everybody: don't blow in the top of a chimney starter going at that. Just warning it, particularly after you've just put a lot of hair product in as well. Okay? Right. Yeah, just warning. Otherwise you'll smell burning hair for a couple of hours afterwards.
Yeah, not a nice smell, is it?
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well, is there any sort of last words that you'd like to mention to everybody watching then as we wrap up and crack on with our chicken? Yeah.
No, just fire up and get cooking is my little slogan, because in the first lockdown I found it really tough, but coming outside and actually barbecuing when I felt like it sort of really got me going again. And Marcus Bowden, who we all know, encouraged me to go live with some of my cooks.
Oh.
So I'm quite active on the Country Wood Smoke Facebook page and also on the Kamado Joe UK group. And I used to go live on a Wednesday and a Sunday. And then my son, who was at home with me, set up a little YouTube channel called Cooking with Sue. So I uploaded a lot of my cooks that we did live onto my YouTube channel. So I hope to develop that this year and put a bit more content up on that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I wish you all the best with it. Feel free to pop up any URLs or clicks, etc., to the page and any.
I tune into you and Jack most Saturdays when I can, and just like to see, it's good to see what other people are cooking, and I'm still learning.
The learning never ends, does it? That's what I found. There's always more and more, and then just when you think you've learned something and you've got something down pat, then someone else has another idea and just go, oh, come on, try it that way. And you're like, wow, okay. And you give that a go. It's never ending. It's wonderful. And there's so many different ways too. So many different gadgets, so many different, devices, foods, products, methods. It's wonderful. I'm loving it. I just loving it. And I just love it.
It's exciting and fun, isn't it?
My bit is I just like telling everybody about it,
It's exciting. I love it.
Yeah, well, you've cracked a beautiful day down there anyway, Sue.
It is stunning. I'm normally out here with my big gilet on and my beanie, but I've just got my little fleece on today. It is really beautiful. Just need it 15 degrees warmer.
Well, there you go. It's coming. It'll happen, and then by then we'll be all able to all catch up and maybe
Nice. That'll be great. Well, thank you ever so much for having me on.
No worries at all. No worries. And thank you very much for joining us, Sue. I wish you all the best in whatever you do and all your videos and every on the old Instagram and social networking.
Thank you.
It's an honor for me.
I'll send you a picture of my my wings later when I can make them look pretty on a plate. except for the burnt ones.
They'll be
You
gone.
can eat those.
Pictures, mate. Thanks again, Sue, and have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sun and enjoy your wings.
You too. Thank you.
All the best, Sue. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Here we go.